10:30 on the dot. What's going on, IG? My name is JD Garnier. I am the creator of Melanomics and the Melanomics podcast. I'm also the host of Walking in Wealth radio show on KKNOK 75 AM radio and 107.1 FM radio in New Orleans. You can catch my show on Monday and Wednesday at 9 a.m. sharp. If you're in New Orleans or the greater New Orleans area, please check me out. You can also get my podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or you can subscribe to my Melanomics YouTube channel. Also, if you want to know a little bit about my background, my professional background, some of the things I've been through, you can get my book, How to Sell When Your Clients Don't Look Like You, Minority's Guide to Success in Sales. That's a book that I just wrote about my personal journey in business and how I was able to transcend societal and cultural differences to build some real good business relationships with people that I've had for years. So it's a little bit about my experience there. But, if you watch any of my videos, I've been, recently talking a lot about wealth. I use that term and I've given some definition to that term. But I just want to be clear about why I'm doing what I'm doing. Obviously social media is the medium where everybody is able to communicate a lot easier, reach it a lot further. But, I'm really more than me looking for accolades or recognition. I'm really just trying to impact the way people think. Just change the way that they think about their own lives and about their money. And I've been fortunate enough in my career to really have relationships with people that are really wealthy. The kind of wealth that we talk about or we have debates about, or, people make posts say rich people do this, wealthy people do this. I've been fortunate enough in my career to have interaction and relationship with a lot of wealthy people. And it's just given me some perspective based on, where I come from in my background. I'm born and raised in New Orleans. I was raised around the whole spectrum of people, from the people that nobody cares about, the lowest of the low part of society. And I had exposure to the people that lived a completely different life. And so all of that experience, both personally and professionally, has really given me some perspective on mindset, especially when it centers around wealth. And me being in this industry has taught me a lot of things and given me access to resources and information that I just feel like my community needs to hear and understand in a way where they can reach it. And so if you really listen to what I'm saying, you'll understand why I'm talking about some of that stuff. You'll understand why I use the term wealth the way that I do and in the way that I define it. Because, we can get tricked in this society to just think about it's all about the money. It's all about the money. I got to get this money, or I can do this quick thing and make some money. And we get distracted with the money and we're not separating it from the wealth. And so that's the reason why I use the term the way that I do and I define it the way that I do. And there's a lot of people online talking about money, talking about wealth. A lot of people using social media trying to be seen by the world. But if I'm really being honest, I just want to be seen by my community. That's what I care about. And if you listen to the things I talk about, that's what I'm caring about. I'm not talking about anything sensational. I'm just trying to challenge the way that you think. And so that's a big part of why I do what I do. But this week I want to focus on business owners. I think more than ever, or at least to say more in my professional life than I can remember, I'm just seeing a wave of entrepreneurs in all different types of industries. People are just developing, and I think it's generational. I think the millennials have more of an entrepreneurial mindset, and that's the generation right under me. And so I love just seeing the ambition and I'm gonna figure it out. I love that. I think that my generation had that to some degree, but we weren't really to go take the risks that the younger generation is taking. So I love seeing it. And so I want to help those business owners move forward with just some practical ideas, advice, and really just kind of help them visualize how they should be structuring and the things that they should be doing with their business. Because it's one thing to have the ambition to make the money, but the purpose of making the money is to create wealth and to create an asset. And if that's the only thing that you're focusing on is the front end, the income, what can this do for your lifestyle? You're missing the big picture on how to create wealth, how to protect wealth. So this week I want to focus on some ideas, some thoughts, some strategies, maybe some things to make you think, just regarding businesses and how to create real wealth and real value out of your business. So each day I'll be talking just not for a long time, just on a different topic regarding that. But if you've seen my YouTube video, I have something I call the HBcus of business ownership. The HBcus, from hustle to business to company to unlimited value. And if you think about your business in that term, then you look at it bigger than whatever you're doing to make money. And because if I've used this definition many, many times, right? A hustle is an unorganized, informal business, but a business is an organized, formalized hustle. And so if you're just out there making it happen, even I don't care how much money you're making, because you could be good at hustling, but if you're just out there making it happen and there's no structure, there's no foundation, there's no formation to what you're doing, it's not formalized either legally or structurally, and you're just out there making it happen, that's a hustle. And even if you're making a lot of money doing that, a hustle doesn't have any value because it can't be repeated. It's not a repeatable process that somebody else can identify and say, okay, what you're doing is worth this amount. I'll buy this from you. You cannot sell a hustle. And so, like I said, if you have a business going and you're just making it happen, even if you're making money at it, think about, how do I turn this hustle into a business? How do I formalize it? And I'm not just talking about having your business paperwork. And I'm not just talking about forming an LLC or, having the legal documents. I'm talking about actually creating a business structure, creating a process around everything that you're doing, having that stuff documented so that even if you hired somebody, they could come in and do the exact same thing that you're doing. Creating structure and turning that hustle into a business. Once you can figure out how to do that, now you have something of value, right? You have a business. You have something that's a repeatable process that you can follow every time. The next step is to turn that business into a company. And that's a little bit harder to do. That takes a little bit longer to do. But the goal of that is you can have a business, but that business is still dependent on you. If you're not there, everything falls apart. So you have a business, but you don't have a company, because a company can stand alone. A company does not need you to be in the office every single day. It can run on its own. And so your next goal, once you have a business, is to turn that business into a company. And so that centers around automation and delegation. Having enough things automated where they can run without you having to oversee it or manage it, and delegating with enough people around you, enough team members around you, where you're not the one executing. You're the visionary, but everyone else is executing. That is how you turn a business into a company. I mean, seriously, do we think that Jeff Bezos has to go into the office every day? Absolutely not. If he says, listen, I don't feel like dealing with all that stuff today, handle it. He has a company. Same thing with any, business owner that you're thinking of. Mark Cuban, Mark Zuckerberg, any of those people that you're thinking about, those people have created companies. And so the next phase after you create that business is to turn that business into a company. automate, delegate, and figure out a way to create a repeatable process that can be done without you having to be there. HBC. Once you have a company, the very next step is, how do I create unlimited value? How do I make this company as valuable as possible? Once you have an identifiable process, once you have a structure and have something that is repeatable constantly, once you can do all of those things, then you can figure out how to do it, repeat it, and expand it and scale it. So if you're doing 1 million following this process, what infrastructure do you need to bring this to 2 million, to 3 million, to 4 million, to unlimited value? And once you can do that, now you have created wealth. Now you have created something that you can leverage, that you can utilize to take care of your family, that you can sell and reap the benefits of it financially and do something else. And then let me be clear on that, because I hear people say this a lot. Why, especially in our community, why they didn't keep that family in that business in the family? Why didn't they keep that business in the family? Why they didn't pass that down? Why did they sell it? But in my experience in working with lots and lots of business owners, people start companies to create enough value so that they can sell it one day to reap the benefits of all of that value. Less than 30% of businesses survive the second generation. Most people are not passing businesses down to their children and their children's children. Less than 30% of those businesses that happens to. And so the goal is to create enough value in what you're doing that now you can, if you want to keep it, you can leverage it and take some of the money off the table. Or you can sell it to somebody who sees that value, and now all of your hard work is paid for. Now your legacy is done. You can do other things with that money, invest in other opportunities. Unlimited value. And so that's the basics of the HBCUs of business. So I'm this week I'm going to try and just talk about each phase of that: hustle to business, business to company, company to unlimited value, just so you can kind of get an idea, as if you're an entrepreneur, if you're somebody who has a small business, you're trying to grow, how you should be thinking about that to really maximize what you're doing, and not just put yourself in a position where you're basically owning a job. And you're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, which you have to do as a business owner, but you're doing that. If you're doing that without the intention or vision of changing that structure, then you're doing it wrong. And so I'll be talking about some ways to do that, and hopefully that can inspire some of you, that can get some of you on the right track, that can help some of you build the team around you to help execute to get the most out of your business. Because I think we have over 2 million black businesses in this country. And I believe over 95% of them have one employee. Meaning 95% of the businesses in our community are run by one person. So that their value is not transferable. The value of those businesses die when that person stops working. And so we need to change that. We need to improve that. We need to look at the businesses that are in our community and figure out how we're going to make them grow. How can we make them job creators and not just a one-man show? So that's a reason for the HBCUs of business, from hustle to business to company to unlimited value. So we're going to talk about that a lot, and hopefully that adds some value to some of your entrepreneurs and business owners out there. So other than that, you guys have a good evening, and I'll talk to you soon.